Okay, I can talk now. Welcome to Rubik's Craft SMP with your boy Peanut Craft. That was kind of interesting. Did you guys think I was ever going to start talking? Did you think it was going to happen, or was it going to be a silent episode? I actually think that'd be kind of interesting to do a silent episode. Would you guys watch that? If it was just the sounds of the game, not completely silent, but no commentary, and just progression updates like that, right? Almost a montage throughout the entire episode. Would that be entertaining? I feel like there'd be something kind of soothing about that. You know, as someone who makes videos, one thing I'm constantly thinking about, and I'm sure other people who make videos are constantly thinking about as well, is just whether or not do I have no iron in here? I guess I have no iron in here. Whether or not we are showing enough progress within our episode, right? Because we get worried that, like, oh, we're not doing enough, we're not progressing enough, people are getting bored. What if it was an episode that was all progression, just through montage, no commentary? That'd be interesting. Let me know in the comments what you think about that. I alluded to it in the montage, but I don't know how easy it was to see in the dark. Someone made a giant portal frame here and even went ahead and broke off the side. I would have reason to believe it is geckos because there's a sign left here. And I have to say, once the season's over, this is something that I'm gonna miss, is the broken portal thing. You know, it's a good way to get obsidian because you have to break it so you don't respawn in it next time. And you just get one obsidian every time. So it's not like you need to go out of your way to get it. You just collect it. Pretty neat. So anyways, as you guys saw, I cleared out the treasure room in progress. It was originally absolutely flooded, and it took way too long to undo the flooding. Gosh, I really probably should have just got sponges, to be honest with you. Probably would have been easier, but that's okay. We have it cleared out now. I like these walls, but I think I'm going to add a little bit more to it. Like I said last episode, I feel like this place is differing maybe a little bit too much from the pirate theme. Last time I didn't say it was too much, but now I'm saying it might be too much. And I think having some simple, like, wooden structures to make it feel like it's holding the walls up so it's not not a lot of actual stone cutting going into the process of creating this treasure room, then I think maybe we can sell the pirate theme a little bit better. But that's a little bit down the line. For now, I just want to get this beacon in place so I can start breaking blocks easier, because I'm tired of how long it's taken me to break all these blocks. All this iron I've gotten from spawn, but I do want to add some of my own treasures to this beacon as well. Like, this would probably be a good place to store some of my diamonds, the ones that I'm not using, obviously. But since I recently lost my stuff, I'm kind of running low on the diamond count with the next set of gear I have to make to replenish what I lost. So we don't know when that's going to go into implementation, but it is a thing that could happen. And for the grand moment we've all been waiting for, the official placing of the beacon, which should turn on. There we go. We got both Beaconator and Bring Home the Beacon. Why are there two that are like the same? I don't know. Or maybe I guess one is like beacon effect. Bring a beacon to full power. Oh, I see. Yeah. I guess you wouldn't always do that. Okay, cool. So now let's put in an iron here, and we want to do haste and haste 2 for sure. We could do regeneration also, but haste 2 I think is going to be more what we need for now. And it should start appearing soon. There we go. Haste 2. Look how quick. Oh, it's beautiful. You might have blinked and missed it, but look. Oh, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And we need beautiful because we've got quite a project that requires quite a bit of beautiful right up there. This is actually a little bit of a happy accident, I think. The beacon color is kind of gross black color because I had a black stained glass down there, forgetting that it would change the color. But to be honest, I think it actually kind of works, not just because it's nighttime, although it does look cooler in the night. I think the dark beacon works well for, you know, a pirate-themed beacon. You know, we don't necessarily want people to follow this beacon. The magic is so powerful that we can't quite contain it. But if we could, we would, and that's why we're dimming it down to a black color. I think it works for pirate stuff, but if I add another black stained glass up here, is that going to make it darker? No, it doesn't. That's okay. I think that works out pretty well. I'm just putting this here so no mobs end up falling down there. Like these chickens. I know they were eyeballing it, but we don't want any chickens falling down. Why? I actually have no idea. Anyways, I need to get to actually decorating this room over here, so let's do that. Okay, I've spent a good amount of time designing this room. As you can see, there's quite a few changes. I decided to add these wood pillars here because, again, pirate themed. I think it's working pretty well. It's still nice and kept up. Do you know? You can tell the pirates were very concerned about security and obviously just foundational wise having the treasure room under a giant watery place, which is why I like the water driplets flowing down. But the wood just makes it seem like a little bit more like, oh, okay, we still got to keep this thing structured up. And the wood having just any kind of variation between like jungle and oak makes it look like a little bit more worn wood. So we actually don't know when these supports might actually give out. Who knows? I've also added these sparkling geode blocks, amethyst, I think is what they're called, around the edges. And I didn't want to lose some of it by building a floor, so I decided to use glass, and underneath the glass I have water, which I think will be a cool addition, given that this whole thing was once submerged in water, right? I think it continues with the idea. It makes sense within the world. And then as for the floor on the inside, I'm still kind of debating what we want to do. I could go with something simple, right? Like wood, except imagine there's jungle variation in here. I could do that. I just don't know if that's going to be too much wood. You know, we've been using wood, believe it or not, relatively sparingly inside other areas. The walkways have only been, 3 blocks wide at max over here, right? So I could go the route that I've already done over here with like stone, andesite, and cobblestone, but I don't know. Maybe it'll look a little bit off-putting to have that for something else that's so developed. So I need to put my noggin to the test, but we'll figure out something. Okay, I think keeping it simple, stupid might actually be the way to go here. I just put some of this calcite down, and honestly, I think I'm liking it. It might seem like a little bit barren to have just one texture for the rest of the floor, but keep in mind, we're going to be having a lot of objects in here. Some of this floor space might actually be taken up, similar to how this beacon is taking up a lot of the floor space. Because this is where our treasure is going to go, and our collectibles. At some point, we're even going to be putting heads up here on the walls, and that'll help fill up the room as well. And pretty much just any other objects that we've collected that might be deemed collectible worthy. Now, here's the problem. Here's the issue. Here is the dealio. I've been building way too much this episode, and it's actually taken quite a bit of time, like an embarrassing amount of time to build this. But you know me, I don't build stuff on creative usually and rebuild it here. I usually just kind of wing it, you know? But I'm pretty happy with how things have turned out over there. And I do have a lot of digging I got to do up there, but in order to do that, I need to gear up my tools, and that might take a little bit of time. So to be entirely honest with you, to be entirely frank, I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do next, but you'll know in just a bit. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I figured out what we're going to do besides taking a screenshot for our next thumbnail. What we're actually going to do is, the season's coming to a close relatively soon, and this may be our last opportunity. Probably not our last opportunity, but the last time I want to actually do it. At nightfall, as soon as that sun goes down, we're going to do night fight. That's wrong. Fight night. Fight night round X. The very, very last one. And I call it round X because I don't actually know what number we're on in terms of fight nights. But we're going to do fight night. And the reason for that is because we actually need more XP so we can start getting gear, silk touch. That's what we need. We need our silk touch pick back. I don't have a silk touch pick in here, or in here rather. I don't have any pickaxes in here. So I need a silk touch pickaxe, and I need levels to do that. And I was like, you know what? Instead of going to the Enderman farm, why don't we try to get some levels the real way and spend a whole night fighting monsters under-geared. Oh, yeah. Didn't stop the recording. Under-geared. All right. I'm at my usual fight night place. I mean, fight night has existed in a few different places, but I'm at the spot that I prefer the most, which is the stone beach with the obsidian portals halfway broken into. And as we wait for things to spawn in, let me just explain. I've got full iron armor and a trident. Now, you may be wondering, also I've got a almost broken bow with some spectral arrows. You may be wondering, Pat, what's the point of this? Why are you doing this? Here's the deal. Minecraft survival is kind of made up of two different categories. I mean, you can divide the categories into subcategories and make an endless amount of categories, right? But there's two categories of Minecraft, and one is kind of the creative aspect of building and conceptualizing things, I guess. So basically building in redstone and functionality and stuff, right? It's a little bit more than just building, but there's that creative side. And then there's the actual survival aspect of Minecraft, which is the challenge, the vigor, the not dying, the survival, right? I feel like episodes, I try to make episodes that have a little bit of both in them for a single player survival series. Sorry, just a survival series. This obviously isn't single player, despite it feeling like single player sometimes. Because look, nobody else is on. Where are they? No, I play on really weird hours. But all that said, I like to have my episodes include a little bit of both. I think it's a good way to keep the pacing of the video up, as well as just keep my mental up, because I don't have to spend the entire time just grinding my mind in terms of creative thoughts and stuff and building. I also don't have to grind my finger dexterity, I guess. I don't know. So having a good mix of both is good. I'm noticing something weird though. There's no mobs spawning. And you know what? Something just dawned on me. I haven't seen any mobs my whole time playing this episode. So I don't know if maybe someone turned on the mob switch, but every time I think someone turned on the mob switch, I'm wrong. I guess it wouldn't hurt to check real quick. Believe it or not, I was actually right. Mobs were set to don't spawn. So let me turn that on to make mobs do spawn. I hope I don't bother anyone by doing that. Any of the 0 other players that are online. I missed my opportunity with the night cycle and I gotta wait a little bit longer. But take a look at how cool that black beacon is in the daylight too. I'm actually pretty happy with that. I think that it really spells pirate to me. Oh my gosh, finally it's turning dark. That's been the longest wait for it to turn dark ever, in fact. I'm pretty sure they actually recently updated the game just so that this particular night in general, not the rest, is longer. I'm sorry, the day is longer than most other days. Weird. It's crazy that they updated and didn't even announce it, and then I think after this daylight cycle, they're going to fix it, patch it out of the game, you know? Bizarre. You had to be there to fully appreciate it. It's turning dark. First mob who spawns is getting killed with my trident. And I realize I don't have a shield, but I don't think a shield will be absolutely necessary. I think I can manage without it. We got a full moon out tonight. I have to say, a little bit of talk about modded. One of my favorite mods, I think it was a 1.16 mod. One of my favorite mods was the Blood Moon mod. And every once in a while, Blood Moon would rise, and crazy difficult mobs with crazy high spawn rates would just appear everywhere outside. Absolutely brutal and maybe not safe for a regular survival world, but amongst many other mods inside a mod pack, it's beautiful. I love it. I remember playing with a bunch of friends, and we had a bunker, and as soon as the Blood Moon would come out, we'd all gear up, grab our modded guns and stuff, and head out into the wilderness. Speaking of modded, typically Rubik's Craft does pre-seasons before their actual seasons, and I think last episode I at least mentioned it, but I've since figured out what the preseason is going to be. I don't know if I'm allowed to say in video. I probably am, but I'm not going to because I want to keep it a surprise for you guys anyway. But I will be participating in it, and all I'll say is that it does have something to do with modded. So that's kind of exciting. Right now, I believe the duration of how long it's going to last is being decided. And of course, when it comes around in March, I think, we'll actually check it out ourselves. I'm pretty excited. I've never given this particular type of season a shot, this particular type of mod. I've never given it a full-on shot, but having videos to record my progress as I learn it is going to be a lot of fun. So, where are all the mobs? Oh my gosh. I turned off the mob switch. You saw it. I did it on video. I flipped it. And there's no mobs. Does the server not want me to have Fight Night Round X? How can I keep my promises if there's no mobs? Are the caves down below spawning them too much? I guess I'm going to investigate a little bit further. My fight night has turned into fighting a bunch of mobs just in case a head drops. Well, I don't even have looting, but that's where we're at right now because no mobs are spawning anywhere. I might have to query about that in chat, see what's up. And unfortunately, maybe Fight Night Round X just involves slaughtering some of these pigs in hopes that the very, very rare chance of them dropping a skull happens. Spoiler alert, it has not happened yet, and I don't think it will during Fight Night Round X. But on that note, I think we're actually going to have to call this an episode early. I understand that duration-wise, this is not as long as the usual ones, but you must understand, it's actually a lot of stuff that I got done this episode. That treasure room, clearing everything out, getting the resources to clear it out, and getting the resources to build it, simply took a decent amount of time, you know? Calcite, not easiest thing to grab. So I appreciate you guys bearing with the shorter episode, and I appreciate you guys subscribing if you'd like to check out future episodes, as well as maybe I have nothing else to say. Thank you guys. I'll see you guys in the next episode of Rubik's Craft SMP. So long, goodbye, and farewell.